Hello students. Today we will continue with the chapter 13, that is methods of preserving food. Children, can you recall some of the topic which we have completed in our previous video of food preservation? Yes, how food gets spoiled and what are the reason behind it? Now, today we are going to learn about food and microorganisms and some methods of food preservation. It means how to prevent the spoilage and wastage of food and how to preserve them for a longer time. So, as we discussed in the previous video, children, you know that microorganisms are present all around us in the air as well as in the water. We cannot see them because microorganisms are very tiny and they are so tiny or they can only be seen through a microscope. Usually, air, moisture, warmth are available where food is kept. It means that it is always possible for microorganisms to grow rapidly in our food or foodstuff. So children, what are the conditions which require for the growth of microorganisms and development of the microorganism? Yeah, air, moisture, warmth. Warmth means what? Yeah, particular temperature. We cannot see them, but if they begin to grow, our food gets spoiled and the nutrition value of such food is also reduced. So that's why students always remember, if the food is spoiled, do not ever consume. Even sometimes the fungal infection and sometimes fungus grow on pickle also. If the pickles are not preserved properly, even fungus grow on curd also, or any type of the food materials where moisture is maximum. And if you kept that open, so always remember, if the food is in good condition, then only you will consume it. Even if you can see the whitish layer or maybe the greenish layer in any kind of the food stuff, then don't touch it and don't consume it at all. So I hope students how exactly food spoilage occur. Now suppose students, if we consume spoiled food, what will happen? Yeah, as we discussed earlier, on food, fungus or microorganisms are growing. And if we consume food which is already spoiled, then what will happen, children? Yeah, when we consume the spoiled food, students, we will have a lot of stomach ache. Stomach ache means what, children? Yeah, our stomach will start paining and then you will have a diarrhea. Diarrhea means loose motion and even person might suffer from vomiting also. Whatever food you consume, again it will come out. So this spoiled food, if you consume, then it will lead to the food poisoning. What we called it as a food poisoning? So in order to avoid stomachache, diarrhea and vomiting, we need to avoid the consumption of spoiled food. And do you know that even sometimes the spoiled food, it can even threaten the life also. Even if the food poisoning is too much, the person may be die also. So it is that much threatening to the life, children. So always remember, only consume that food stuff which is healthy and which is not spoiled at all. Understood now? So we need to avoid the consumption of spoiled food. Okay, children? Now we will learn different methods of food preservation. There are different methods of food preservation such as drying, cooling, boiling and placing in airtight cans. Let's begin with the first, drying. When we dry foodstuff, their water content is lost. This method is used to preserve foodstuffs like papad, kuldai, sandwich, wheat, dals, etc. You must have tried eating papads, wafers, dal vadi, etc. Or mostly children, all of you must have seen this method in your houses also. Whenever is your mom dry papads or she dried the grain like wheat in the sunlight, after that she stored in the airtight cans. These all are the foodstuff which is made by drying. When they are drying, they lose their water content. And as we know that microorganisms need water for their growth. While drying, the foodstuffs are denied of the favorable condition for the growth of microorganisms, and hence foodstuff can be preserved longer. Next one is cooling. Similarly, cooling, refrigeration or low temperature also deny the warmth which is needed by the microorganism for their growth. So again, favorable conditions are not available for microorganism and hence food can be preserved for longer. And this is also a reason why foodstuffs remain fresh during winter also. Even the temperature of the fridge is very low. It has a low temperature and that's why in the refrigerator the food remains fresh or they remain fresh for longer time. So if we keep any kind of the food in the refrigerator, they remain fresh for a long time. Even if you have noticed that fish, it is also stored in the ice cube. So when the people keep into the ice cube, the fish remains fresh for many days also or consumption without getting spoiled. So cold temperature is very important to store the food materials. Next one is boiling. When foodstuffs are boiled, the microorganisms in them get destroyed. Microorganisms cannot survive at very high temperature and by boiling, microorganism kills or destroyed. Hence, the foodstuffs are also prevented from spoilage by this microorganism. Now children, you must have also noticed during summer season we boil milk again and again. So when we boil milk again and again, what happens children? Yes, the microorganisms which are present inside the milk, they die because of the boiling process. Even if you have noticed some vegetables also, we boil again and again before it consuming. So, boiling is the best way to avoid spoilage of food materials. Did you understand now why boiling is very important, children? Yeah. Now the next one is placing in airtight cans. Before placing it in airtight cans, the microorganisms are first destroyed and it is ensured that water or air do not enter the foodstuff. After that, the foodstuff are placed in airtight containers and as it is destroyed of microorganisms and the food is preserved for a longer time because they place in condition which microorganism will not grow again. So till now students, what we have learned? Yeah, what are the different ways of preserving food materials? Now children, Remaining chapter we will continue in the next video. Thank you. Stay safe.